By the end of this video, you'll have a complete list of must-have apps that will make your trip to Vietnam smoother, more affordable, and way less stressful. And stick around because I'll also share a key app that most travelers don't know about, but it could save you in unexpected situations. Welcome to my abundant aesthetic life. If you're planning a trip to Vietnam, the right apps can make all the difference from navigation and translation to ride hailing and staying connected. I got you covered with the best app. Let's dive in. When I first came to Vietnam, I had no idea which app I actually needed. I thought I could just rely on the same ones I used back home, but I quickly realized that things work a little differently here. For example, I remember trying to use Uber only to find out that it doesn't exist in Vietnam. That's when I discovered Grab, and honestly, it saved me so many times, especially when I had no idea how to communicate with local taxi drivers. So trust me, having the right apps can make a huge difference. Before we jump into the list, I want to quickly share why having the right apps is so important in Vietnam. Unlike some countries where you can rely on just one or two apps, Vietnam has its own set of go-to apps that locals use daily. Which one to download ahead of time will save you so much time, money, and potential headaches. Whether it's avoiding overpriced taxi fares, translating street signs, or finding the best exchange rates, these apps will make your trip smoother. So number one is Google Maps. You need Google Maps. It's like an essential for navigation, but don't forget to download offline maps. And what I love about Google Maps is I like to save all my favorite cafes I've been to, my favorite food places, and really, I don't know where exactly I'm going, so it's always good to just have it on so you can find your way to navigate back home. It's just a must-have. Quick tip with Google Maps: if you're exploring smaller alleys or local markets, sometimes the pin locations aren't 100% accurate. What I like to do is use street views before heading out so I can get a visual what the area looks like. This helps a lot when trying to find hidden cafes or homestays tucked away in smaller streets. If you prefer something different, Map.me is another great app that works well for offline navigation. Some travelers prefer it because it's more detailed for hiking routes and smaller streets that Google Maps sometimes misses. Number two is Google Translate. It's such a lifesaver for communications. I don't know much Vietnamese, and it helped me a lot. It helps me translate when I'm even with my husband's family. I just put it on so I can understand what everyone's saying. So you can actually do conversations in Google Translate. Another translation app some travelers like is Say Hi Translate, which focus more on voice conversations rather than just text. It can be a good backup if you need something extra. Number three is Google Lens. You can scan and translate text instantly. Great for understanding documents and product labels. I like using it for menus and street signs. All you have to do is turn it on and basically just point to a menu and it would translate for you. If you're planning to shop in local markets, another hack is using Google Translate's voice feature. Instead of typing, you can just speak into your phone. It will translate in real time. Super helpful when bargaining or asking for directions. Now that we covered navigation and translations, let's talk about managing your money while traveling. Number four, Currency Convert app. This will help you quickly check exchange rates and avoid overpaying. This is a good thing to have when you go to a new country, as right now I'm used to the prices here and how I convert it in VND. It was good at the beginning, so I know how much I'm actually paying in Canadian dollars, so I know if I'm overpaying or not. One thing to be aware of is that Vietnam currency has a lot of zeros, and it could be easy to mix up $10,000 VND and 100,000 VND, which is a big difference. A quick way to double check before paying is to use your currency converter app or just memorize a few key exchange rates so you don't overpay. Number five, Fongo. These are for my fellow Canadians. I love this app because I got to keep my Canadian number. So basically, Fongo is an app that you can keep your Canadian number active with free calls and texts over Wi-Fi. So you need Wi-Fi to still make these calls, but you can still keep your Canadian number and go all over the world. So my mom can call on my Canadian number and call me up. Moving on to staying connected and getting around. Here are the best apps for transportation and communication. So number six is Lazada. I have to talk about this. Lazada is like the Amazon for Asia. You can buy so many things on there. I have bought so many things on there, like my kids' card games, my content creator gears, like tripods and all those things that you can buy. So basically, it's the go-to online shopping app in Vietnam, perfect for buying essentials or replacements on the go. Number seven, grab the most popular transportation app for taxi, bikes, and even food delivery. I use Grab every day for food delivery when we don't want to go out and eat and we just want to get food. And my husband uses the app a lot for grocery shopping. So when we need something, we can order everything on Grab. Number 8, Bee and Go Jerk. I think I'm saying that, Go Jerk. This is an alternative transportation apps. In case Grab doesn't work out, like sometimes if Grab takes too long or if the prices are just too high, you can use these apps. Here's a little insider tip. If you're using Grab at night or during rush hour, try switching between car and motorbike options. Sometimes a motorbike ride will get you there way faster because they can wave through traffic, while cars might be stuck in congestions for a long time. I personally save so much time by choosing motorbike taxis instead of cars during peak hours. If you're feeling adventurous and want an even cheaper ride option, you can also try local Sayam drivers. It's motorbike taxis. By using the app, Alo said it's more popular with locals, so you might need some basic Vietnamese to use it, but it's a great way to save money. Now this next app is something a lot of travelers overlook. But trust me, it's a game changer if you plan to stay in Vietnam for more than a few days. Number 9, Zalo, Vietnam's version of WhatsApp, used for local communication, business, and even making reservations. I love using Zalo because there's an option that you can translate it to English and also vice versa. So if I write it in English, they can actually translate it in Vietnamese. So it's just a better way of communicating. And I notice a lot of businesses use Zalo. I actually use Zalo a lot for booking my appointments for my laser appointments and also for my hair appointments. Now that you got your transportation and communication sorted, let's talk about cashless payments and booking accommodations. Number 10, VN Pay and Momo. So this is like e-wallets for paying bills, topping up phone credits, and cashless transactions. In Vietnam, they use a lot of the QR codes through banking online. So this is similar to that too. If you do end up setting up a Vietnamese account here, you actually can use their bank scans. So at the stores and restaurants, they have a QR code and all you have to do is use your bank app and scan it and it'll pay for your meal. It's just so easy here. I never seen anything like that until I got to Vietnam. My husband loves it and it's just so easy to use and you don't have to bring cash around. One thing to keep in mind is that many local businesses don't accept international credit cards, so having a digital wallet like Momo or VN Pay can be super useful, especially if you don't always have cash on hand. Some restaurants and cafes even offer discounts for Momo users, so it's worth setting it up. Number 11. Traveloka and Agoda. These are best apps for booking hotels, flights, and local experiences. The rates are pretty good and you can find all the flights on there. Now we still need to cover the one app that could save you in an emergency. But before we dive into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're thinking about traveling to Vietnam or living here as an expat. Alright, before we get into the last app, let me know in the comments. Have you been to Vietnam before or are you planning your first trip? I'd love to hear about your experience and any travel questions you have. Another thing to keep in mind when using apps in Vietnam is that some apps require a local phone number to sign up. For example, Momo, the e-wallet, doesn't always work with foreign phone numbers, so if you're staying for a while, getting a Vietnamese SIM card can make things a lot easier. So here's a bonus app. It's called Air Visual or PAM Air. Vietnam's air quality can fluctuate, so having a real-time air pollution tracker is crucial here, especially if you have allergies and respiratory issues. When we travel, we actually check for the air quality to make sure it's a good time to go travel there. Just a tip, make sure if you're planning to travel, check how the air quality is to make sure if you want to go travel there or not. By the way, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe because I have so much more Vietnam travel content coming your way. Also, if there's any apps you swear by that I didn't mention, drop in the comments below. I'd love to check it out. So before we wrap up, let's quickly share what not to do while using these apps in Vietnam. 1. Don't rely solely on card payments. Always carry some cash because even though digital payments are growing, many small shops and street vendors still only accept cash. Number 2. Don't ignore Grab's price. Prices can change depending on the time of the day, so if it looks too expensive, try in 5 to 10 minutes or check Bee or Gojek for a better deal. Number 3. Don't forget to check the address carefully on Google Maps. There are multiple locations with the same name, so always double check the reviews or ask someone if you're unsure. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and if you love this one, check out this video. See you in the next one. Let's grow, glow, and flourish together.